I was wondering if for those of us who maybe aren't as familiar with food issues, if you would talk about sort of the main elements of food security and what that really means.
Sure. The Food and Agriculture Organization defines food security as food availability, affordability, which is also accessibility, because if it's available but it's not affordable, and utilization, consumption. If the food is available and affordable, but you don't have access to clean water, so as a result, you suffer from an inability to digest the food and to absorb the micronutrients in the food, you don't have food security. So you need all three elements in order to support what is a food secure diet.
Okay.
And so but you know, and as we talk about food security, the last year, the global community, the UN, convened a food system summit. And I'm so sad because most people don't know the UN convened a food system summit, even though the United States made some significant commitments around the summits, not just for what they will do internationally, but what they will do here at home to address the challenges of our own food system, which we can talk about. But and so what came, the outcome of that food system summit was that yes, we must have a food system that supports our food security, but we need a just transition of that of our food system to create a just and sustainable food system. And what does that mean? It means a food system that meets our health needs, as I've just described them, but also our environmental needs.
Right.
What many people don't know is that 25% of all the greenhouse gases are generated from the food system. And that the food system is also the most vulnerable system to climate crisis because the rains don't come, the rains are long, or we are more prone to flooding because of the challenges of the changes in climate and a more erratic climate. And so we know that the population projections are that we'll have 9.5 billion to 10 billion people by 2050, which means that we need to increase global food production by about 50%.
Wow.
But we need to do that within planetary boundaries, which means that we need to grow more on the land that is already under cultivation and not expand into more land and detrimentally impacting biodiversity, detrimentally impacting our forests, and detrimentally impacting our wetlands around the globe. And so that means more innovation to support a more environmentally supportive food system. And so you have the health of food system that meets our health needs, our environmental needs, but also our economic needs. The challenge of our food system today, one of the major challenges of our food system today is the lack of economic return for all the actors across the food system, particularly farmers. We have 500 million smallholder farmers, and we have farmers right here in the United States who are aging out of the business or being forced to work 2 jobs in order to keep their farms working because they don't make enough from their land. While they're producing, they're productive farms, but they are not generating enough income from those farms to support their livelihoods. And that is true in the United States as much as is true in sub-Saharan Africa or in Latin America. And so how do we embrace the true cost of foods and begin to pay our farmers, begin to support the return on investment for all the actors across the food systems, the laborers who work in our processing plants and in our our factories that produce our food? How do we ensure that the investors who invest in businesses that scale up to provide more nutritious food also get the appropriate and fair return that they have? So that economic return of the food system is also quite critical to creating an equitable, just, and sustainable food system.